What up, though? It's your host, author, musician, journalist, CEO, Jel Lee. Breaking news: elections were today, and the trade elections. We have elected a new mayor, the former city council, sitting city council president, Mayor Sheffield, won the election over Pastor Solomon Kinlock. This is interesting. She had a 77% to 23%, getting 68,525 votes to his 19,901 votes. And that's why I'm like, only 86,426 people so far went out and voted. It's almost 800,000 people in Detroit still. And that's all that voted. This for the mayor of the city, man. This is going to decide what's going on in the city for the next few years to come. And maybe, depending how long she wanted, she could be there for, like Mayor Young was there for a hot minute. And that's all I did a absentee ballot. I voted for her because I had a mindset, separation of church and state. I mean, a pastor running might have to work with people that, from what the Bible say, ain't the best of people. And you might need to make policy or deals with them that might be for the betterment of the city of Detroit. Now, he was running with the investment to expand out to the rest of the city compared to only Midtown and downtown Detroit, because we had Mayor Young's son who changed his name to try to win an election ago. Wrong person, but right message, saying how they're only building up downtown and Midtown, but that's always been a formula to re-thrive a city. You have the downtown as a tourist spot and the Midtown areas, and then you branch out. You're starting to see some expansion, but not at the rate you see Midtown and downtown Detroit. So Pastor Kenlock was speaking on that's what he's going to give a promise to do. A word to go. But she has a brand name. City council president means she's already doing it, so experience kicks in. She's likable. He's likable as well. We'll see if that's something he's really trying to do. He come around next go around, because her message resonated with the most of the people that voted. And people, we really do need to vote in the other elections besides the presidency. We really need to do that. I mean, let's paint the Thanos picture. Let's say she is the worst person on the planet. She runs Detroit. Come January, she gets sworn in. And she's making policies you don't like, you didn't vote. She got potential to be a great mayor of Detroit. Or not. But if you someone that's a pessimist, skeptical person, are you one that voted while you're being on this side of it? So these numbers are abysmal. With 10%, a little bit over 10% of the population of the city, of over 700,000 people. And that's all that really cared to go vote. I even saw clips of some of the voting polls, and they really wasn't that crowded. Like, wow, we'll run out there for president. But when you get back to your governorship or your mayor or judges or city council, not so much. Now, I was looking well for that, and I didn't see too much come in for the few seats that was available. And unfortunately, there was a UPS plane crash with 7 dead, 11 injured, and an explosion at Kentucky Airport. Prayers to all their families. But we got to do better, man. Now, on the government shutdown, judge ruled that the Department of Agriculture that's under President Trump's administration legally is still supposed to provide the food benefits because they have the emergency funds for it, over 20 billion. Let's say 8 billion a month funds the program. Plus, you factor in the federal workers that are laid off because the government is shut down, adding more problems. But some people are doing stand on city Detroit. Mayor Duggan has been posting about the 1.7 million he found in grants to feed the citizens of Detroit that need it. New Era Detroit, local community group, they're out helping feed the families. So Detroit stepping up, and maybe all the mayors in Michigan can get together to make sure to cover all the people, because we're going back to the old school where you got to take care of your own a little bit because government ain't going to save you. Only person that save you is Jesus, in my opinion. But you look to the government to do what they're supposed to do. Ain't been no breaking news. The government shutdown is over. So, like, no, love thy neighbor. You seeing it in action right now. That's a cool thing to see. There was some big wins for the Democrats tonight. They're looking to carry that momentum to the midterms next year. A lot of rebuke of President Trump and his policies. You had the Virginia Democratic 3 key seats that were won. Virginia Democrat Abigail Spanberg is elected as the first female governor. And Democrat Ghazala Hashmi was elected lieutenant governor and the first Muslim woman elected statewide. Historical stuff right there. You had New Jersey Democrat Mickey Sherrill wins the governor race. And you had, there was a third one. Where that governor at? Well, I know I wrote it down. Because you had New Jersey, New York. And the New York race. I thought I didn't write it down. My bad. Slacking on my notes. Fix that one second. You had the mayor. I thought I wrote his name down. Oh, I didn't write his name down. Here it is. Mandini, Democratic Mandini. He won as the first Muslim mayor and first South Asian to hold office. Now, he was running against former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and the Republican. Okay, if I can find it. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, they really didn't even show him. That was kind of weird. Zoran Mandini is his name. But even though Cuomo ran as independent, they were the top two candidates. Republican, he didn't really stand that much of a chance, unfortunately. Should have been more given a Republican, but that's kind of weird in New York too, because they do got a lot of heavy hitters, Republicans that have Congress seats as well. But they spoke on his run, and let me get their name right. New York mayor race. Curtis Sliwa, and they had more people vote over there. Mandini got over 1 million votes. Cuomo got 854,000 plus. Silva got 146,000. I mean, it's weird. I'm like, dang, I'm used to a Republican being treated like the independent. But that's how that race ran out. It's going to be different to see what he does. A lot of people didn't feel Cuomo, even though he got all the experience running as governor, can be the person. Want to get this new guy a chance. Also, Democrats keep the Pennsylvania Supreme Court majority. California Proposition 50. That was a bill about the redrawing the districts. Was a win for the Democrats again. So they had a slight blue wave today to see. Now, a lot of pundits are going to say, well, they could ride this into next year for the midterms. A lot of people are saying this is the reboot of a lot of the policies that President Trump has been doing that they don't like. That's been an issue. A lot of people don't like the direction the country going in. A lot of the campaign promises that President Trump said he would do, a lot of people might not like the way he implemented them. And it's an open door for Democrats to do something, but I try to be balanced and fair-minded on this new show. I'm an independent. And from what I've seen from the Democratic Party, okay, they do stuff in cities and states. But when it comes to Washington, D.C., they're a bunch of punks. So let's say, because I know there's talks of Governor Whitmer here might run for president in 28. Let's say Democrat win presidency in 28. Say that happens. Let's say they get control of Congress again. I have no belief they have the guts to stay united and keep their members in the Senate in line to vote their stuff through. Because senators that are Democrats love to go into business for themselves, as a term I'm calling it, instead of just voting the party line. To where they can get a lot of stuff that they say they want to do for the little guy and woman and pass it. They never can because 3 or 4 of them, like, no, I ain't doing that. And then I see them on MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, and they ain't really saying something meaningful, in my opinion, on why they're not voting for it. It's more like, well, I got to say, well, I need more stuff for my state. That's why I ain't voting for it. But your team have total power of Congress. Washington. You can vote all the policy that you want through. And I done seen Democrats under President Obama, President Biden, have senators that are Democrats say, no, I ain't voting that. I might lose my seat. I ain't getting enough of my state. Who gives a damn about your state? Y'all have total power to vote all your policies through that y'all say is for the betterment of the citizens. And I done watched 2 administrations, you don't do it. You might not like what Republicans do, but when they get total power, they vote their stuff through. So I have no faith that if a third time around comes, Democrats get control of Washington, they're going to vote all the stuff that they say going to help the people through. Because there are going to be some senator Democrats going to do business for themselves. They ain't going to vote it through. They're going to be on TV, like should I say, all in the video, talking about why they don't want to vote party line. Like they're doing a righteous stand for America when you going to business for yourself. Maybe you want to be president. Maybe you want a higher stature about yourself because don't nobody know the hell you are once you get elected. So you putting your face out there. They know this is Senator so-and-so. Maybe special interests might come your way. You might be looking for the private sector once you leave there. But you ain't doing nothing what the American people want. And I can't believe that you will, because Two administrations had total power, and y'all did nothing with it. All I heard was senators say what they're not going to do. It's going to affect me getting reelected. Well, I need more of this for my state. Right? But y'all got a chance to pass, let's say universal health care, for example. Now, I ain't going to pass that. What the people in my state going to say? But that's what y'all talk about y'all want to do. You got the votes, including you, voted in. No, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. And that's what they do. You sit back like, okay. Now, I was just talking with someone about Mayor Duggan will be leaving come January, and he's already started his campaign to run for governor of Michigan as independent. But it's the last winding down of Governor Whitmer last term. Only served 2 terms, 6 years, 12 years. So, okay. And she was an unknown person that was in the Congress of Michigan. She won. Done some good. Some like her, some don't, but she's done good for the state of Michigan. Gotta give her props. I voted for her. I want you to do your job. And she may throw her hat in for a presidential run, 28. But Duggan, as independent, has brought Detroit back. Now, granted, I've seen former Mayor Kilpatrick in interviews. Anton Daniels show. He do a lot from Detroit with his brand. That he tried to do certain stuff that we see now, but he wouldn't get the backing. But when we got Mayor Duggan as a writing independent, then they came to back it. I don't know if he pissed off the powerful people and they wouldn't back him. But once we got Mayor Duggan, everybody opened up their pocketbooks because we had an issue years ago where the ambulances and police cars were not getting the work done they needed because we had the money. Mechanics were saying we got new vehicles. Street lights were not on everywhere downtown. They put the new LED lights in. They start fixing sidewalks and stuff that should have been done that wasn't. To where if you go down downtown Detroit now, it looks like you in a suburb. And that's a great thing for the city. But my issue with it is when you just had the residents of Detroit who was mostly black citizens, that energy wasn't there to make sure we had the best and brightest. But then all the other demographics started coming back to the city. Now they got off their ass and make everything pretty again. Only offense I take with it. You didn't do it when it was just black people in Detroit. But everybody else started coming back. Now you cut all lights, so you fixed everything. And we get to partake. Shouldn't matter who you are. You citizens paying taxes, you should get the best service. I said it. It's factual. If you lived here, you saw it. And that's hang out the homies downtown. You walked in groups because it was dark as hell everywhere. Now, I've seen alleyways lit up I never seen before because they lit everything up. I see all different coaches walking around, holding hands, frolicking around, happy-go-lucky because they made sure downtown is way safer than when I was in them streets. Now we're a big tourist spot. All great stuff in the city, and I'm loving it. But the way you went about it is the problem. The opportunity was there to do it before, but you didn't want to. So now we're going to see in 26 what Detroit looked like and what policies Mayor-elect City Council President Mary Sheffield will do. And how what will she add to what's going on already to take us farther into I think it's getting something like the Jetsons. We got a lot of AI, a lot of more jobs being lost because companies are trying to be more efficient and just use AI, not people, unfortunately. So I recommend that's an industry people might need to go learn how to work on AI stuff, stay afloat of the job market. And for all the elections today, Pennsylvania keeping that Supreme Court. I mean, that's a big state when it come down to the presidential election of the top states you need to get to win. So by that being still controlled by Democrats, if something come down, it would be probably more favorable for the Democratic Party on the voting. Former Vice President Dick Cheney died. He had a very controversial run. Only man I know that can accidentally shoot a fishing buddy in the face, and that dude apologized to him. Like, that's gangster. But I know you're vice president, so you ain't about to just lock that man up. But you accidentally shoot somebody, you don't really see them apologize to you for all the stuff you going through about it. But when they was in power, from a lot of people that were there, said they ran it as you either with this administration or you're against us. On some more Al Capone type stuff. And a lot of people didn't like that he was vice president is supposed to be seen, not heard. Because president is out front, but he was more right by former President George W. Bush's side running the country. Now, in my opinion, because when we had former President Bill Clinton win, prior to that in the 80s, you had former President Jimmy Carter, former President Reagan, former President George H.W. Bush. You had the grandfathers in power. And when the 90s came along and former President Bill Clinton won, he was mid-40s, so it became more youthful. The people had spoken. We want a more youthful person in power. Okay? Republicans had no one that could win. So Bob Dole had been a long-time former senator, passed away. It was his turn to finally to run, but you knew he wasn't going to win. Okay, but it was his turn to finally run. But they were looking for, okay, well, when Clinton leave, who we got that could take his spot? So no Al Gore going to run. And we had that whole where votes had to get counted, accusation of the election being stolen. Supreme Court, that whole what if this scenario happens came into play. Now, the only reason why people even speculate that at the time, I remember watching it live, like, they had called Florida for Al Gore. I mean, when I voted, a lot of people wanted just running to vote for him. Like, okay, that's different. But he didn't want to take Clinton help because Clinton had the marital issues with Monica Lewinsky in the White House at the time. And he felt that would hurt his campaign. But to a lot of black voters, Clinton got you in. That's your man. You supposed to ride for him. And we rock with Clinton at this point in time in history. So a lot of people didn't rock with him like, man, he got you in the White House. You ain't going to stand by his side? Oh, no. You ain't loyal. So they got George W. to run because he had a name. He's running the Texas Rangers and was governor of Texas at the time. He ran. The plan was to put his daddy cabinet in power and you just be a nice figurehead face. They're going to do all the heavy lifting. They called Florida for Al Gore. Moments later, former Governor George W. get out there and say, hold on, don't call it just yet. Y'all doing this too early. And this is where conspiracy people allegedly feel his brother at the time, former Governor Jeb Bush, was throwing out votes so he could win Florida. Because never in the history do they due diligence, call the state and have to retract it. Never happened before. And then, oddly, after he made that statement, it flipped to George W. won Florida, which led to this look shady business. We're going to count on these votes. That whole thing that led to George W. winning and Al Gore conceded. Okay. So we still on, okay, he in the mid-40s. We want the youthful people. Then we get, no one saw former President Barack Obama coming. He gave a very strong speech at the 2004 Democratic Convention. It was supposed to be Hillary turn next because she left the White House, first lady, became senator. I voted for her. A lot of people like, you gonna vote for him? I don't know this dude. I read his plan, like, he's gonna run the Clinton plan remix. Okay. I'm like, why I need him when I got her right here? So in the Michigan primary, I voted for her, not him. Like, I had Bill Clinton back. Man, gas was 89 cents for regular. Stuff was cheap. I'm good. I don't know that guy. You supposed to vote for him? I vote for who I want to vote for. I don't care if you're black. I know Clinton, my money was right. That's how I was voting that time. He beat her out. He run against John McCain as it was turn to finally run. He win. I voted for him. Like, well, got a chance to vote for a black guy's president. Never thought I'd see it in my lifetime. I know I want to run one day, so I vote for him. And we were still with the youthful 40s. He get a second term against Mitt Romney. Excuse me, it's his turn to run. And then we switched. But now Hillary it was her turn. She's supposed to get in there. Now this we get to the women versus men conversations because it's something to it. And at the time, everybody loved Trump. You know, he hung with all the rappers, TV shows, you're fired and all that stuff. But Trump is a real businessman. He would say whatever to whatever demographic to win. He outworked her. But when I was having talks with women I was custodian in Wayne State, even black women, I'm like, there's no judgment. Who you vote for? I vote for Trump. And I was shocked. Like, why? And at this time, right before it happened, former FBI Director Comey came out with the Hillary emails and all that, which I think he was told to do. My little alleged conspiracy. If y'all was watching her all this time, you could have been put that out. You put that October surprise a week before the election. And that swayed a lot of people. Even though that was policy to use outside service for certain people, you need to have a backdoor conversation with. This is documented. Even former Secretary of State Colin Powell did the same. She ran the same playbook. But it was made to be painted, lock her up, oh, shit, traitor, this and that. Like, this is what y'all been doing. There was nothing new. But it came out right before the election. And I'm like, well, she's the most qualified woman ever. She was the first lady. Now she's senator. She can run for president. She got the credentials. Didn't matter white, black, didn't matter what race. When I talked to women on campus, I was shocked. More of them didn't want to rock with Hillary. They just voting for Trump. I'm like, wow. I don't know about this one. She's the most qualified. And they ain't fucking with her. It blew my little mind. Like, she's the most qualified woman y'all got to run for president. I don't like her in the emails. Like, that email really had that much effect. Okay. But they were shifting because she was a grandma, Trump a granddad. Like, we're going back to these old people. He win. Have COVID stuff happen. Joe Biden, because he chilled, let her get her turn. He came in, he won. Some people feel he didn't get the most votes. Allegedly. I look at it, people didn't account that most of the country did the absentee ballot. Because people was fearful to go in public doing COVID supposed to spread through air and everything. So even on election night, when I was watching election shows and they was breaking it down, like right now, it's going to look like Trump has won. But because a lot of states don't count the absentee ballots, and they never had these many, it was over 100 million absentee ballots that were not counted. And because he was at time saying, "Man, they trying to hold your boy down. It's a witch hunt. This thing shady." Every state, Republican controlled, Democrat controlled, counted every last vote. This was the first time in history every last vote was counted, and the whole process, these votes are good, went through. And they said it on Morning Joe show. He's a former Republican congressperson. It's going to look like Trump won, but it's 100 million votes that was not counted yet, absentee ballots. And it's going to take them days to count. So by Saturday, sometime in that day, they're going to announce Biden win. He said it on live TV. He's watching it. I'm like, for real? And like, because they already been doing the tracking, and most of those votes are Democratic votes for Biden. Because Trump was saying, don't worry about COVID, y'all go in person. They wasn't counting that 100 million was that big of a factor. And when they counted all them votes, think by afternoon, he was new president. All them states Trump had flipped because a lot of states wasn't counting absentee first. A lot of states have changed that policy now to where now we're going to count them votes first, get those out the way. And we just got to deal with who come in and vote. And it was a different scenario because everybody got it sent to their house. So we still have election, not worry about spreading COVID, nothing like that. And it took that long. And some people even still feel, nah, he didn't get all them votes. But people, in my opinion, are looking at that point in time, people were more comfortable with the absentee ballot vote. And 100 million people voted that way compared to going to the polls. And the votes had to get counted. So now, Trump, he ran again. He win this time. Biden health was declining, wasn't telling nobody. And that's where they changed laws prior because the billionaires were getting too involved in backing candidates. Super PACs were getting out of hand. So Democrats changed laws where if you run for president, the people on the ticket, president and vice president, have access to the money. That's it. So when it was starting to look that Biden was having issues, former President Obama was saying we need to have open election, open convention, meaning we'll pick somebody at the convention to run against Trump. Because the few debates they had, President Joe Biden wasn't looking good. Trump was looking stronger. They want to keep the seat. And President Barack Obama stopped talking like that when it really got re-explained to him because his law changed. The over 300 million campaign funds we got from the people, if we switch this to Harris and the guy that she picked around with her, we got to send all that money back and have them resend it. Our best option is just to have Harris run because she's originally on the ticket already. And we ain't got to move the money or refund it. We can keep using it. And Obama backed off and got behind it because she got to run because of that law change. Now, she didn't put the best campaign together. I went to her page. There was nothing for what her foreign or domestic policies was. It was just thrown together. Okay, she got a new book out and she kind of blamed him, looking disloyal to people. But now we see it was her versus Trump. We got the grandparents again. So now I'm looking to see come 28, are we going to get back to the youthful 40-something, 50 age range, or we're going to put more grandparents in who are almost 80-some years old. I prefer 40s to 50s running for president. Then you got to be 45, somewhere around there. I'd rather that than the grandparents run the country. That's me. You still relatable to all demographics. You might not be stuck in your ways. I prefer that. So I think Duggan has a chance because he's independent. No one saw that people rock with. So I'm already thinking he's gonna win governor once she leave. He leave office of the Detroit mayor, and whoever run against, I'm pretty sure her lieutenant governor might run. He's have a good chance because he helped run it, but it is a popularity contest. How charismatic you come off. Do you got some of that Ric Flair, the rock in you, when you captivate the audience to where they want to vote for you? You can know all of it and be aficionado about all the political stuff, but you got to be able to transcribe it to the people where, all right, I like this cat. I rock with him. Let's do it. If you don't win. We'll see who else might run for governor. And this is, in my lifetime, the first female governor. And I don't think they reported like that either in Detroit. It's kind of weird because had Mary Young, Dennis Archer, Kwame. You had Ken Cochran, he was former council president. Dave Bean. I think somebody else. Now you got Duggan. Yeah, I don't think have we ever had one. I gotta look it up now and be sure. You already know I'm looking for like that. No, she's the first woman. Oh, Mary Beck served as the first woman to serve as acting mayor and was the first woman elected president of city council. Okay. The acting mayor ain't the same as being elected mayor. So she was a placeholder for a minute for whatever happened. Now, why was Mary Beck acting? Let's see. Acting. Detroit mayor. Oh, she was first woman city council, and in succession became the first woman to serve as council president pro tempore council president. During her time as president of city council, she served acting mayor when the mayor office. It was vacant. That's why. Okay. So she served as the acting mayor of Detroit because it was vacant. Today got someone else. So Mary Sheffield, city council president, is the first elected woman mayor of Detroit. And black woman, that gonna throw that. You throw that in there as well. Oh, maybe I got some stuff up here. Who is this? Yes, Nisha, we never had a female mayor, but I was just looking it up. Mary Beck, she was acting mayor of Detroit and because it was a vacancy. But we never elected one prior to Sheffield. And I'm with you. See, I'm ready to see young people, new approach is not stuck. I'm with you on that. Needs new, fresh ideas. Because some older people are, you're right, they stuck in their ways. You're right. You're totally right about that. They stuck in their ways. And we need some more youthful people that can bridge the gap with everybody. That's true. And the train has already started running with what Duggan has done for Detroit so far. So we're gonna be good. I do think that. Be very good. One moment. Be very good. I mean, I'm curious to see what ideas she had for Detroit to keep taking us to. I mean, we got Skynet here now. We got AI, so we in the Jetsons age, in my opinion. So, see what ideas she got to keep leading us to the future. And hats off to Pastor Ken Locke. He gave a good campaign. I mean, he might be back. I could see him maybe run for city council, winning one of those seats. That definitely give him the chops and experience. So if he want to run again, he can add. He has experience of being a part of the Detroit governing body on what to do, what not to do, how to run, and bring that experience and leadership with it. I mean, shout out to him for running because you're a strong leader till you put your hat out there. All the people that ran, you try for it, like Pac say. There's a lot of people that think about stuff, don't do it. They went through the whole process. You tweak it, get back out there. Don't sit on the sidelines. You got some good ideas. You can run them. Why not you? I know the Prop 50 in California was a big deal that they ramped up a lot of campaign ads about for the redistricting. See how many Democratic or Republican seats you get. So like that's going to go in favor of the Democrats. Okay. Good stuff. Still, we need to vote more, people. Local elections matter. Learn about the candidates and vote. Because we ain't even get a true fraction of how many residents of Detroit. Over 700,000 and over 86,000 voted for the future of Detroit. I guess people feel ain't anybody gonna do it, but you gotta get the people in there, man. You want the right people. Make sure they're looking out for you and your family. I did mention I was going to do the political show tonight about it because election, that's going to be the trend with this show. Presidential election come up, midterms. We're going to talk about it tonight. Might try to go while it's going on and do it. But they'll talk about it because it's needed, man. We got to, just like you do everything else in your life, you got to be up on the political stuff, know what's going on so you know how to navigate, move within what rules and policies are being made. I hope you guys enjoyed this 6th episode of the show. Keep it going. Eventually try to get some actual people in the field on here for these election episodes. Keep growing. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of your night. Well, it's Wednesday morning now. And till next time, everybody.